Seems Lady Susan will finally visit.
Lady Susan Vernon.
That woman's a fiend.
Congratulations on being about to receive the most accomplished flirt in all England.
Excuse me for arriving this way. What a delightful family pose. Mrs. Cross has come with me as my companion to pack and unpack. And as there's a friendship involved, I'm sure the paying of wages would be offensive to us both. My brother-in-law is very rich. In one's plight, they say, is one's opportunity.
May I present Lady Susan?
Delighted to make your acquaintance.
He's handsome, isn't he? In a calf-like way. Mannering's in town.
Have you seen my husband?
Horrid woman. Deranged. But if she were going to be jealous, she should not have married such a charming man.
Does this woman always get her way? She has an uncanny understanding of men's natures.
Summer movies typically delight in nefarious goings-on and no small amount of fireworks. We know what that means with blockbusters, lots of blow-up stuff action, superheroes versus arch-villains. But here's a deft indie charmer right at home at summer's start, and it comes by way of Jane Austen, no less, with the very tart help of writer-director Whit Stillman. The arrival of Lady Susan Vernon to her brother-in-law's estate promises fireworks to be sure, but the movie and Kate Beckinsale's performance wow with verbal pyrotechnics. Ooh, ah, indeed. More protagonist than heroine, Lady Susan Vernon is a manipulator, a survivor, and a bit of a conniver. She is one of Austen's first heroines, yet the last to make her way to readers. And while the issues of property and gender will strike a chord with Austenites, Lady Susan, admirable and likable in the way, well, Hannibal Lecter is likable, is a revelation.
I'm sorry. Have I done anything that's dishonored you or father?
To honor means, among other things, to listen with respect to a parent's sincere counsel.
I do listen with respect, Mamma. It's just that...
If you will not pay attention to me, then perhaps you will to a larger imperative. The law of the universe. An offer as splendid as Sir James's is not likely to come around again. He has offered you the one thing he has of value to give. His income. I fear and reproach myself, having shielded you for far too long. Had I let you starve a little bit more, you would resist much less.
Mamma, I was often hungry at school.
Oh, evidently not hungry enough. In any case, the starvation of the schoolhouse is nothing like that of the destitute. Is that what you want?
No. I can see Sir James is a kind man, and if it weren't a matter of marriage, I'm sure I could like him. But marriage is for one's whole life.
Not in my experience.
Watching, or rather listening to Lady Susan, I was reminded of Woody Allen's Jasmine, played by a different Kate, Cate Blanchett. But she, too, is a woman who has married well and falls then on sparse economic times. Lady Susan, however, is far, far from unraveling. If anything, she's too sure of her game and of her charms, as she goes about finding herself a fresh husband and daughter Frederica her first. Among the possible suitors, the handsome Reginald de Courcy and the quite wealthy Sir James, who, played by Tom Bennett, is as ridiculous as he is rather endearing.
I must say, you look surprised. You were astonished to see me, no? Not? That's how it looked.
Yes, I was astonished, and I still am.
An impressive establishment you have here, sir. My congratulations. Immaculate.
Mr. Courcy is Mrs. Vernon's brother.
Very good.
It's her husband, Charles Vernon, who has Churchill.
Churchill? That's how you say it? Altogether like that? Churchill? Oh, well, that explains a lot. You see, I'd heard Church and Hill, but couldn't find either. All I could see was this big house. Fine name, Churchill. Marlborough, right? The general? Showed the French. You must be very proud.
No connection.
But I believe I have heard it spoken of. I think you mentioned it. Churchill. Yes, I think you did. But again, I heard Church and Hill, and I couldn't see either. But I realized I was in mistake, and now stand corrected. Happens quite a lot.
Jane Austen didn't finish her early novel, Lady Susan, and it was only published after her death. The title of the movie, Stillman's doing, by the way, teases us. After all, there's very little love to be found in Lady Susan's machinations, and friendship, well, even that seems complicated by the times. Chloë Sevigny portrays her friend Alicia Johnson, an American expat married to the very respectable and older Mr. Johnson, who's played by Stephen Fry.
Congratulate me, my dear. Frederica's aunt and uncle have taken her back to Churchill.
I thought you'd grown to enjoy Frederica's company so.
Comparatively. A bit. But I'm not so self-indulgent as to want to wallow in the companionship of a child.
Lass, I fear this is our last meeting. At least while Mr. Johnson is in life. His business at Hartford has become extensive. If I continue to see you, he vows to settle in Connecticut forever.
Oh, you could be scalped. I had a feeling that the great word respectable would someday divide us. Your husband I abhor, but we must yield to necessity. Our affection cannot be impaired by it, and in happier times, when your situation is as independent as mine, we will again unite. For this, I will impatiently wait.
I also.
May Mr. Johnson's next gouty attack end more favorably.
The production is sharply executed, self-aware, and as deft as Lady Susan's calculations and her enunciation. There are plenty of winks to the audience as new characters are introduced with intertitles. For instance, the fact that Reginald de Courcy's mother really is kind, and that's how she was introduced, says something about the ways in which Stillman's wit straddles the ironic and the authentic. The source is Austen, to be sure, but there's something wild sometimes, a little Oscar Wilde in this film's unabashed and pleasing knowingness.